Hey, welcome back to Vegas Weekly. It's May 30th, 2020, and Vegas is coming back. Stay tuned. So we finally have good news to share this week, and we're going to get right to that in just a minute. Wanted to thank everybody who dropped in to our little party the other night, our live stream Wednesday night. Had a number of people hanging out for a good hour and a half, so we had a good time. Talked about Vegas, talked about life, and always good fun. So gave away a Vegas tips and trick mug. So be on the lookout for the next live stream. There'll probably be some sort of a cool giveaway for that one as well. So, but this week's news story is pretty simple. Vegas is coming back. I expressed some skepticism about the time frame last Saturday, and I was wrong. Well, it looks like I'm wrong. Unless something dramatic happens in the next 4 or 5 days, we are going to see a bunch of Vegas hotels, casinos opening up on Thursday, June the 4th. Some of them sneaking in at 12:01 a.m., others waiting until later in the morning or the afternoon. A few places actually opening up their hotel the night before. I know the D is doing that, a couple of other places as well. So we're going to cover in a little bit of detail anyway the reopening, what's opening, what's not opening, and what we just don't know yet. What we do know is the vast majority of properties on the Strip and downtown are coming back and are coming back June the 4th. Looking at downtown, the only properties that I have not seen an announcement for yet are a couple of the Ogden Street properties. Main Street Station is not going to be open, and seen nothing about the downtown Grand at this point, although I did get an email from them the other day. I've seen nothing to indicate they will be open on June 4th. Of course, anything could change. Just in the last couple of hours, we have discovered that Four Queens and Binions are going to join the party and will also be opening up the 4th. Otherwise, all of the other major downtown properties will be on board that day. And I believe all of the hotels as well will be open. So if you live within driving distance of Las Vegas and are missing the Fremont Street experience, you can take advantage of that. In fact, there is a countdown clock that is now appearing on the canopy, counting us down until it comes back online, which I believe is actually going to take place on the 3rd. So less than 5 days away there. As far as the Strip, near Strip properties, it might be easier to tell you what's not opening, but why? What fun would that be? The Stratosphere will be open. The Sahara will be open. Circus will be open. There's been some speculation there that they had not made an announcement. Wynn and Encore will be open, apparently with all the restaurants, except the buffet, opened up as well. Treasure Island will be open. The Venetian, Palazzo will be open. Have not seen anything on Casino Royale. Harrah's will not open on the 4th, but was announced today that they will open on the 5th. So had speculated that the demand had been very high for the room of 8 rooms at Flamingo, and that we might very well see a compressed time frame in terms of Harrah's coming online, and that indeed has proven to be the case. In addition, a number of the shops and restaurants on the Link Promenade will be open, including, as far as attractions, the High Roller will be open. So I don't know what the social distancing is going to be there, the limitations on the number of people on a particular pod. Well, that remains to be seen. Flamingo, of course, will be open on the 4th. The places In that part of the Strip that will not be open, again, I don't know about Casino Royale, I haven't heard anything there. Cromwell will not be open immediately. The Link will not be open immediately, but given how quickly Caesars has brought Harrah's online, the next property that would seem like it is likely to begin taking reservations and accepting guests would be the Link. On the other side of the street, the Mirage is scheduled to be one of the last MGM properties to open up, so it will not initially be available. Caesars Palace, of course, has been speculated and is in fact going to open up on the 4th as well. So will Bellagio. But then you've got a pretty good stretch of properties owned by both Caesars and M Life that will not be open. Bally's, Paris, Planet Hollywood, Aria, Vidara, and Park MGM, none of those properties will be open. Cosmopolitan will be open. New York will be open. The other thing we discovered in the last week is that MGM will open on the 4th, and so will MGM Signature. Tropicana has been notably quiet, so we're not sure what's happening yet with Tropicana. Nothing that we've heard there as far as an opening. So that may be a property that will not open initially, that is more or less a standalone property, though it is affiliated with the M Resort as well. None of the properties, Excalibur, Luxor, Mandalay Bay on the far south end of the Strip, there will be open either. I've not seen anything on Oyo. As far as some of the off-strip properties, it's very mixed here. Rio will not open initially. The Palms will not open initially, although Palms Place will open. And they will have a complimentary shuttle to Palace Station, which will be open, along with most of the station casinos, but notably not the Palms. The Gold Coast will be open for business in the casinos and restaurants, but the hotel will not open initially. So not much as far as lodging there on that corner. The Orleans, however, further to the south, will be open. Won't get into all of the neighborhood casinos, but many of them as well, including places like Sam's Town, Aliante, Red Rock, Green Valley Ranch, those places all scheduled to come online on the 4th. The thing I think I'm most surprised about is the number of restaurants that are going to be open, the number of pools that are going to be open. The Review Journal has a page which they are updating on a regular basis, which can give you a list of what's going on, as they find it out. It was just updated a couple of hours ago. But that's what we know is going to be happening. Obviously, this all a result of the governor announcing that Las Vegas has moved into phase 2, whatever that means. There are a number of restaurants, and there are some casino restaurants, including at Wynn, Green Valley Ranch, and Red Rock, that have already opened today. So due to some loopholes, you might say, in the previous rules, but casinos will be allowed to open on the 4th. So pretty big news there. In addition, parking is going to be free, at least for a while. MGM stepped out front over a week ago. Cosmopolitan, Caesars have all followed suit. So at least in the short run, the parking fees are gone, at least for self-parking. There's very few places that are going to even have valet parking. I'm trying to think. There was one property, which for very obvious reasons. Oh, I believe the Fremont downtown, which doesn't normally have self-parking, they will have valet parking. How they're going to manage that, I don't know, but fairly small property. It is interesting. Initially, Boyd had said none of their downtown properties would open, but they will go with Fremont and Cal, though it's interesting that Main Street Station was left off. How soon the demand will come there. Of course, Boyd very much dependent upon out-of-state visitors, the Hawaiian market. So we'll see how strong that is coming back. And obviously, as far as any of these casinos are concerned, it's going to be based upon demand. But what we've seen so far would indicate that there is quite a pent-up demand and quite a number of people ready to come to Las Vegas next weekend. I know there are a few vloggers people that I know who are likely to be there within the first 6 to 7 days. So if I know of any footage of any vlogs that are in progress next week, I will definitely give you a link to those so you can check them out. But I know we're all eager to see what the new normal or the new temporary will be. So we are taping this on Friday night, so if there's any developments as far as more casino openings, it's possible that those will drop in the next 8 to 12 hours, and so that's why we may not be completely up to date this week. But in any case, very exciting news, and as I say, the indications are that demand is quite strong. And so we will see if there are announcements from either, in particular from MGM or Caesars, about any additional properties opening perhaps next weekend. That would not, or the following weekend, that would not surprise me based on what we've seen so far. And I think most of these properties are based upon the rules operating at about 50% capacity. So you may have all these properties may be open, but probably not the number of rooms that you would normally expect to have available. I've also been somewhat skeptical about, free-flowing comps for everyone, but so far indications are pretty good that if you have any kind of gambling history with any of the major properties, major casinos, that you're going to be in pretty good shape, particularly if you want to travel midweek. I was shocked to see the number of M-Life properties that are comped for me Sunday through Thursday, and even a few properties that are comped over the weekend. So take a look at that. Same thing with Caesars, but usually I have a little bit better comps there anyway, but definitely check that out if you're planning to go, because it looks like they're going to do what they have to do in order to get people in the doors. But so it should be quite a week, and I'm sure we'll hear about more openings or about more planned openings as the weeks goes on. Definitely follow Vegas Tips and Tricks on Twitter, and we will keep you up to date with everything that we see there. But a great week for Vegas, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that everything continues to go well. But finally, some good news. And today we have some more good news because we have another guest mixologist, one of our favorite Vegas experts. In fact, he's a real ace. In fact, he's the ace of Vegas. Here's my friend Eric with the cocktail of the week.
Today on the C Word. Rum drinkers often come off as a bit immature. It's possibly because their favorite alcohol just so happens to be based off the sugarcane plant. But you know what? If you get your mindset away from rum and coke, you'll find that rum is actually a rather versatile alcohol that you can be very creative with based on its flavor profile. Let's take a look at this one that I have for you in the kitchen. Rum. No one cops to it being their favorite alcohol, but it's certainly one of the most popular alcoholic beverages in existence. It's sweet, it ages well, and it's available in light, dark, or anything else in between. And today, we're going to go ahead and use it in one of my favorite cocktails from my favorite local pub, the Lindsay's Cuban Cocktail. Let's get started. 1 part Captain Morgan. A shot of Captain acts as a base alcohol. It's sweet, but not overwhelmingly so, and the spices are actually going to counteract some of the sugars in the rest of the drink. Another shot, banana liqueur. 99 bananas will keep the alcohol content high, but unlike an unflavored vodka, it won't overpower the rum or the other alcohol in this drink. Fresh lime juice, about half a shot. Lime salt is garbage, and the concentrate is even worse. Do yourself a favor, go to your local grocer, pick up a bag of limes. Limes are excellent garnish, and the citrus really complements the other flavors in this beverage. 1 part orange juice. Your favorite brand will do. Stir gently. Serve over ice. Straws are optional. Don't forget to cut the lime. Garnish the glass with a generous lime wedge. Lindsay's Cuban cocktail. Done.
All right, Ace, thanks for that great video and for showing us another fun cocktail here on Cocktail of the Week. Hey, a reminder, if you would like to be a guest mixologist, just drop me a line, jrswift@vegastipstricks.com, and you can be part of the show. And what's always a part of the show is our Vegas tip of the week, and we're counting down or counting up or counting around our 10 biggest Vegas tips. And we're actually up to week 9. And today's tip is one for gamblers and non-gamblers alike, and one we touched on not too long ago, but it's to always use your Players Club card. When you make a hotel reservation, when you pay your bills, when you eat at a restaurant, anything you spend money at the casino, make sure that you present your card. Because even if you're not necessarily a big gambler, if you accumulate enough points, you can get elevated tier status, which can allow you to skip lines or get other benefits. And in addition, you can still earn comps just by your spending. So, I mean, I know of a few people that have spent quite a bit of money at Cosmopolitan, and they get, free rooms and free offers just from their hotel spend. So it varies by property, but make sure that you use it not just when you gamble, which you should always do anyway, but also when you spend money anywhere on the property. Make sure to give them your card, and you'll be surprised at just how much those comps and those rewards can add up. So that's our tip of the week. This week's in Vegas history, actually quite a bit has happened towards the end of May. We're getting into a busier time, but I thought it was worthwhile to talk about something that happened on May 24th, 1955, and that was the opening of the Moulin Rouge Casino. Now, it's in an area of Las Vegas which generally is not particularly hospitable to tourists on the west side. And it was Las Vegas's first racially integrated casino. It is a dirty little secret that Las Vegas was a heavily segregated community, and the strip hotels early on did not allow African-American performers to stay there or use the pool or any of the other facilities. They were shipped off to guest houses or other motels. So the Moulin Rouge opened up to some great fanfare. It would appear on the cover of Life magazine a few weeks after its opening, and was quite a rollicking sort of place. Sadly, it did not last very long, and in fact, by the fall, it had gone bankrupt. The building would fall into disrepair and more disrepair, and there's really not much left of the original Moulin Rouge after several fires and some controlled demolition. People continue to talk about bringing the property back in some form. I think there's even a proposal currently, but so far no one has actually revived it, but it continues to hold a pretty special place in Vegas history. The Moulin Rouge did help launch the civil rights movement in Las Vegas, or certainly proved a catalyst. And just a few years later, in 1960, the major casinos entered into an agreement with the NAACP and other folks to integrate their properties, and that has been the case ever since, thankfully. But the opening of the Moulin Rouge, both as a symbol of the vibrancy of Las Vegas, but also a symbol of its somewhat checkered past. And that happened back on May 24th, 1955. That's this week in Vegas history. And this coming week promises to be quite a week in Las Vegas history, one we'll all look back on and hopefully remember as a once-in-a-lifetime episode. But anyway, hope that this broadcast finds you and yours well. We will be back again next week with another show. And until then, I hope that you have a great and lucky week. We will see you soon.